Welcome to the Christie Taylor Show. I'm your host, Christie Taylor. And if you are from Memphis, you know about this dance called JOOKIN. And we have a new movie that's going to be hitting STARZ. And I have the pleasure of talking to one of the actresses from that forthcoming movie and super excited to introduce her to you. She's a new budding actress. We're talking about Danielle Boothe, also known as Live in the Booth. And she is a Memphis native who you cannot put in a box. If you try, you will be shocked. Now, she is a new actress to appear on the screen. Now, the years 2020 and 2021 proved to be the jumpstart for the budding actress, with her making an indie short film debut in Black August, followed by roles in AirBNB 1333 and Hurting Pleasures. Now, Danielle has been in love with creative and performance art since a child and always dreamed of being on the big screen. Now, last year, she met Howard Bell, the writer of JOOKIN, which led to her first full feature film. Now, that is set to be released on the STARZ Platform. Now, when Danielle is not acting, she is busy with a career in sports and recreation, as well as her love for community and spiritual mastery. One thing Danielle wants us all to know is you are the ruler of your destiny. I want you to help me welcome to the Christie Taylor Show. And that's Live in the Booth. All right. Now, of course, Danielle Boothe is your name, but Live in the Booth is really what you're known as. So I really want to know, where did that name come from?
So Instagram and social media, you have to think of like a catchy, like name or something like that to use for your Instagram or social media. And so I just thought of Live in the Booth. And I've always wanted to rap and do things like that as well. So that's on the way. And so I just thought it fit so well into my last name, Booth, which I want to carry with me no matter if I get married and I don't have that name anymore, or just I always want to carry it with me.
Well, Live in the Booth, I'm super excited that, you came up with a very strong handle. And I was just thinking, is it live or live? But, live does definitely talk about being in the studio and your creative process. You say since a child. Now, you don't seem too much older, but I can tell you I'm grown. So
right.
Since a child, you said I'm all the way grown. So since a child, meaning what? How did that creative expression start for you?
Elementary school. Elementary and middle school is more so when it really hit, because I went to Colonial Middle School right here in Memphis, Tennessee. So it's a creative and performing arts school. And so from there, I was involved in dance and I was involved in acting. I did arts and blues camps that were every year. We got to perform on the Orpheum stage as a child. So so those were the things that definitely just sparked that creative buzz.
Now, Colonial feeds into Overton. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. As a matter of fact, from time to time when I want to be in sub mode, that's one of my favorite schools to go to.
Oh, wow.
From Dr. Lula Hedgeman. I remember, of course, did you graduate from Overton?
No, I was going to say, no, I didn't go to Overton, but I went to Ridgeway.
You went to Ridgeway, yeah, because just that whole creative aspect of that area, like it's a Colonial, Overton. So if you have been in that creative mode, how have you been able to, beyond school, to continue that leading up to you now becoming an actress?
Really, honestly, I hadn't done a whole lot. I had just really I went to college, and that was my background, sports and recreation. And I started working for the city. I started working in community centers, and I found a really great love for community, and just doing things within the community, whether it be health, whether it be events or whatever. And so I just started doing that, and then eventually I was just hey, no, one of my friends that did Black August, she went to middle school with me, and she reached out to me and she was like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this movie? And I was like, sure. And from there, it really just spun. It really just happened. Hey. And I'm so happy that I started back, because I realized hey, this is a part of your purpose. This is a part of what you're supposed to be doing. And so it's been like Godspeed ever since.
Now that hits around like 2019, 2020. Is it right around?
Yes.
Okay, so here we are in the midst of that the global change, and you're finding a new way to express yourself creatively. Did that help, to help you cope through the unsettling, situations of 2020?
I think it did. I
Mhm.
guess like no one's ever really asked me that. I've never really thought about it. So,
Mhm.
um, I would like to think that it did because like so many people were finding like their purpose and finding their passions and things like that. So it did give me the chance to get right back into what I've always wanted to do. I feel like when we get adults, sometimes we feel like we can't do certain things because we gotta work, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. I have a daughter, so it's just so many things. But it really during that time when all of that was happening, it really brought me back in to like who I am.
You brought up your daughter, and before we started, I asked about the amazing artwork that's on the wall. Could you share with our audience about that, if you please?
Yes. So we have like an art wall here, and so we have done like different paintings, different places. And my daughter, she's really, really good with art. She's a excellent painter, and so these are some of her artwork up here as well as mine. And so we just wanted to put the work around the house.
I like how you're fostering that. So, when it came to visual arts for you, was that something you did as a child as well, or is it something you did just with your daughter?
Just with my daughter, like just we'll go to the Overton Park and paint. We'll go to the Wolf River and paint. Like we'll just do like paint outings just to be creative. And so it's a fun time.
How old is your daughter, and what's her name?
My daughter is 14.
Whoa. Okay, okay. So you definitely don't look like you have a teenager. That's a blessing. That's a blessing indeed. And I hear you saying quite a bit about, you ended up, getting into sports and recreation. That was your undergrad, and you worked with the city of Memphis regarding that. So you
Yes.
work. Mhm.
I went to the U of M, and then my first job
Mhm.
outside of like as soon as I graduated was with the city of Memphis.
Okay.
And I've done a lot. I've done a lot of different things, which I think my career has been creative. For sure. My career has been creative, but it molded me into like I said, community. And then also just someone who can kind of like talk to people and just a people person. So I think it molded me for where I am now.
One of the when I was reading your bio and doing some of my research, I came across your amazing website. Let me see if I can bring that on. Give me some information about this organization that you're a part of.
So Empress and Emperor was a nonprofit that I actually started when I was still in college. With my undergrad, we had to do some type of outreach. We really just had to do a project, and I just formed it into some type of outreach for young girls. So it was just Empress. And then once I graduated, I got into the community centers. I noticed that there was a need for the young men as well. So we added Emperor onto it. And so an empress or an emperor is just someone who is the ruler of that specific land and that specific space. And so that's where our tagline came from. And something that I live by is you are the ruler of your destiny. We make our
Mhm.
rules. We create, the life that we want to live. And so we work with people on holistic health. Astrology is one of our big things that we push because knowing the deeper essence of astrology can help people with their lives and their purpose. And we also have all types of like natural products featured from all different people in Memphis, different natural products, whether that be capsules, teas, sea moss gels.
Oh.
All
And
yeah.
that's pretty much people who are from Memphis, because of course I know there's a lot of holistic Memphians. So you all actually create a consensus with all of them. That's amazing.
And we try to bring them all
Mhm.
together so people can know that, hey, if you're looking for something holistic, then you can go to Empress and Emperor, and that's where you'll find it. And you will find it, so many different people that share their products on the site and their services. massage, steaming, all different types of things are on the site.
Okay, now if a person is interested, all they have to do is go to your website to participate both as a recipient, and if they have holistic services and products, they can also find out ways. Oh, that's amazing. I like the way that you all are collaborating with those from the city. So outside of your community work, when did you have time? And I do know Airbnb 1333, that's something that Delwan Coleman, if I'm
Correct.
okay, so after you did Black August, let's get you back on your acting tip. So when did you move from that to working with Delwan Coleman and eventually Howard L. Bell?
Okay, so Delwan was at Black August, and he was one of the videographers for it. And so when he saw me, he was like, "Put these glasses on." You know, he's a visionary, so he was like, "Put these glasses on." So I put the glasses on. He was like, I got this role for you, and I'm sure like you gonna love it. You're gonna do well." And I was like, "Oh, okay, okay," you know. And so when he told me about it, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And immediately it just struck in me like, yeah, go ahead and do it, you know. And so we did it. Me and Delguan worked really well together. Took his direction really well on what he expected or what he wanted with the film. It was a lot of improvisation, so it really tested me, and I really had to like grow and kind of study a little bit as well.
Now, give
Yeah.
us a little backstory on that storyline, because I know he loves to kind of deal in that horror thriller. Was that one of those?
Right. So I play a girl who was in college. And I was going to a nursing gathering with my classmates, and I get there and it's this haunted mansion. And I'm like, hey, I need to leave. She wanted to leave, the character wanted to leave, but the people kept reeling her in. They end up getting her in because she hit a child with her car. So that's how they end up getting her in the house finally. And once they got her in the house, it was all these different dimensions that she went through throughout the house. And it was just scary. You know, it was just like one of those like Jordan Peele type of movies where it's like,
Yes.
what is going on? You know, it just the mind
I had the
mystery.
honor
So
of seeing a snippet of it, and I understand that even some of the different dimensions their character had to go through, he's talked about creating spin-offs. So is that something that might happen with that character, that she might come back?
I'm hoping so. I know she did kind of, they didn't say if she died at the end or what. So I'm hoping so. They'll go and hit me up.
So after you did Airbnb, tell me about Hurting Pleasures. Tell me about that.
So Hurting Pleasures, it was with Jason Martin, who also works hand in hand with Delgon. They like a 1-2 combo, 1-2 match. And so that's how I met Jason. And Jason was like, "Hey, I got this role for you." So basically, it was my character. She was kind of like a battered woman, if you would say. And her boyfriend, he had been like abusing her, and you know her brother had abused her, so she just had a long like list of like abuse. And so at the end of the movie she kind of snapped.
Whoa.
Yeah, she kind of snapped, and she
What's kind of snap? What do you mean she kind of snapped?
so she actually pulled a gun and killed her boyfriend.
Whoa.
Yeah, she actually pulled a gun and killed her boyfriend, and then we brought awareness at the end to domestic violence and how to get help and things like that before it gets to that point where you have to, take matters into your own hands, because her and a group of girls actually set them up.
Oh
Um,
wow, that's a serious topic. That's an
yeah,
extremely serious topic. Now I know that Jason, he has definitely been, grinding really hard. So shout out to him as well.
yes.
Memphis film scene. What are some of the things that you're noticing? Because I know that through these experiences, you end up meeting Howard, as we know, H.L. Bell. So what is the Memphis film scene like for you now?
It's really fun. I get to meet all types of different people. So many different projects have been, like, hey, do you want to do this? Or hey, do you want to do that? It's just it's so wide open. So many people are getting into their creativity, and they want to express it and they want to show it. And so from my perspective, the Memphis film scene is full of talent, and it's full of like really, really talented people that just want to get their work out there. I will also say that they say that, you know, like Memphis is like kind of like a cliquish, you know, type of city, but I really haven't experienced that much at all. Like I've really experienced a lot of like love and camaraderie in the film scene. And you know, I think that there has been like little things that happen, but like everybody's able to like come and talk about it like adults. So it's been great. Like there's some really talented people out here.
Yeah,
Like
very, very
super
talented
talented.
people. Now, of course, that leads us to, and was it last year that as you are now moving throughout this film community that you meet Howard? Let's talk about that.
So Howard reached out to me on Facebook, in my Facebook inbox, and he's like, "Hey, you know, I really enjoyed you on Airbnb and Hurting Pleasures. You know, like, are you interested in, you know, hearing about this movie that I'm doing?" And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then he gave me some of his other movies that he had already done, which were featured on Tubi. And after I saw them, I was like, yeah, I'm down. Yeah, let's meet. So me and some of the other main stars, we all met at, what restaurant did we go to? Oh, it was in Midtown. Young Avenue Deli. We all went there. We ate, we talked, and I loved the role. It was at first I was just like, I don't know, but I do want to be diverse, and I do want to be able to stretch, you know, what type of roles I play and how I play them. So it was great. Howard was absolutely amazing. The people that I worked with were amazing. It was just a great experience, and I feel like it was one of the best so far, for sure.
Now, with you being, are you born and raised in Memphis?
Yes.
Okay, so the movie is called JOOKIN. JOOKIN. I want to make sure I say it right. JOOKIN.
Yeah.
It's like mine. You're like mine. JOOKIN. There's a certain way you have to say these words.
Right.
So with you being, you know, born and raised in Memphis, how familiar were you with the dance art form called JOOKIN?
Very familiar.
Okay.
Very familiar because I went to high school with like one of the JOOKIN legends. Her name is LaShante. And so I've watched her, you know, like grow and, you know, just become this amazing artist. So she was, I feel like, really one of my first introductions to JOOKIN in high school. Her and then there are a plethora of other people. I don't know all of their names, but I was definitely familiar with JOOKIN and what it was. And anytime we used to go to parties in high school, there would be the JOOKIN crew over there, and they're getting it. So JOOKIN is definitely a Memphis movement.
It's a different. What have you learned about it from high school, seeing friends and, you know, like you said, the JOOKIN crew over in the corner dancing? To what did you learn and possibly discover more about the dance form once you did the movie?
It's serious. It's serious. It is a sector of dance, just like modern, just like hip hop, just like classical ballet. It's a sector of dance, and it's serious, and people are really invested in JOOKIN, and people are really talented in it, and they really care strongly about it. And so that was what I learned more so like in the movie, as far as like the seriousness around it, the competitions that I didn't know that were going on, like how they go and they do competitions here, and then they may go to Atlanta and do a competition, and then they may go, you know, to Vegas and do a competition. Like there are JOOKers that are all over the world, really.
Yeah.
And it started right here in Memphis.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot of things start here in Memphis, and a lot of like greatness starts here, and then we just implant our greatness all over the world.
Yeah.
And so that's what I learned, like the seriousness of it.
Now, I can't think of his name right now, but he's been on some of the top stages. He even had a shoe that was built around him. Oh my
wow.
God.
G-Nerd?
Was it him?
I don't know.
I can't believe this moment. But one of the things that I was really amazed by, because I kind of remember Jookin off and on, but once I really saw how popular it was becoming, and more importantly, the global impact, I was like, whoa, once again, a Memphis impact around the world. So just without giving me too much about the movie, who is your character, and is she a Jooker? Does she Jook? Am I saying it right?
Is she a Jooker now?
Is she a
That was perfect. No, my character is not a Jooker. Her name is Gwen. And she's more so on like the drama side. You know how like all your movies, like You Got Served or like your dancing movies, they have the dancers and then they have like the serious side of the plot as well. And so I'm more so on the drama side.
Okay, so you bringing drama to the dance. You drinking
drama.
And it sounds like it's a lot of drama.
It's a lot of drama, yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's good drama. Y'all enjoy it.
Okay. Okay, so now JOOKIN was fortunate enough to get picked up by STARZ. How familiar with you? Were you amazed at that? I mean, because a lot of times you can have a great movie, like, of course, Howard L. Bell. He's had quite a few of his movies. I think over 10 has been put on like Tubi and other platforms, but this one is going to STARZ. How did you feel when you got the news that it was going to STARZ?
When he told us that, we were all on the phone, and he told us, I was like, what? Wow! Like, I was really like happy, and just like overjoyed and grateful. Like, what? We're gonna be on STARZ?
Yes.
So I was like, thank God, yes.
And for those who don't know, we have another Memphis native who has a show, P Valley, Katari Hall, that's on STARZ. So I'm loving the fact that STARZ is showing Memphis a lot of love, Yes. So now, of course, we know that that's going to be coming very, very soon. Make sure you all follow. What's the best way for them to stay in the loop on the launch of JOOKIN on STARZ?
JOOKIN has actually a Facebook page of its own, and it's called JOOKIN. So when you type in JOOKIN, JOOKIN, when you type that in, it'll come up on Facebook as JOOKIN the movie, and then that's how you can get all of the like updates and everything.
All right.
We also have a premiere coming on the 10th.
That's right. We have a premiere coming March 2020. And super excited that I'm going to get a chance to get a sneak peek before it hits STARZ. Ooh. Yes, Howard said I can come, so I'm going to get my VIP on. So super excited about that. Now, of course, before we wrap up, I want people to, first of all, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you, Danielle.
You've been an amazing host.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anytime you need to come back, sis, just let me know. Now, of course, for those who want to learn more about you, and if there are any writers or directors out there who would love to put you in their next movie, how can people get connected with you and stay up on what you got going on?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, LiveInTheBoothe, Facebook, LiveInTheBoothe, YouTube, LiveInTheBoothe, and Twitter, LiveInTheBoothe. So any social media, that you're looking for is all LiveInTheBoothe. So you can just type it in the search box. I'll pop right up.
And make sure you put an E on the end of that booth. Okay, LiveInTheBoothe. Yeah. All righty then. Anything else you want to make sure that we share? Because I know you're very involved in the community as well. Any community appeals that you have going on coming up in the spring as well that we need to know about before we go?
Yes. We have not even dropped this yet, but I can tell you all that we are having a holistic health fair. I do want to say that Empress and Emperor was the first in the city to do holistic health fairs, and so we're going to be doing another one this spring. So please be on the lookout for that. You can be on the lookout. You can just go to empressandemperor.org, and we'll have all the information there. These events, we have a lot of holistic health people there, and we also have some traditional health vendors that are there as well, because we really want to marry those communities instead of being separate. And we also do like yoga and live performances and things like that. So please join us and just stay tuned so you can get the dates.
All right. You've been amazing. Thank you, Danielle Boothe, aka LiveInTheBoothe with the E at the end. You can check her out in the upcoming movie, JOOKIN.
JOOKIN.
I said it right. I felt that. JOOKIN on STARZ. And we're going to have a premiere coming up this month as well. Shout out to Howard L. Bell. Thank you so much. And thank you all for checking us out. And coming up next, we do have my girl, Tina Tilton. Yes, Tina Tilton, The Blend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go on our way out.
Girlfriend know we're here? Yeah.
The system had one intention, to put us in prison. It's just that simple.